I mean, respectfully, does Damon Dash need to shut the fuck up? This is the Damon Dash intervention. Let's get to it. So now that I have your attention, I'm Travis Johnson. The show is What's Really Good. And like I said, today is the Dame Dash intervention. So we're going to do a couple of things today. First of all, we're going to talk about why Dame needs an intervention. Dame is looking fucking crazy in these streets right now. I mean, we're talking about a guy that's gone from having the utmost respect to, just being laughed at this point. And that doesn't make me feel good. So we're going to do a couple of things today. So we're going to discuss why Damon needs an intervention. We're going to discuss what an intervention actually is. We're going to have the intervention. We're going to talk about what Damon and what Damon needs to do to move on. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to talk to the Damon cheerleaders, because you're just as, crazy looking out here in these streets right now. But as I said, the first thing that we're going to do is we talked about why Damon needs an intervention. What we're going to do now is find out what an intervention actually is. So, intervention purpose. The purpose of an intervention is to address problematic behavior or situations, promote positive change, and improve outcomes for individuals or groups, facilitating a shift in thinking and action. Interventions can also serve to support those in distress, help them recognize the impact of their actions, and connect them with necessary resources or professional treatment. Okay, so all jokes aside, this is not a bash video. I'm not going to call myself a fan of Damon Dash. I don't consider Damon an artist, but I definitely have a lot of love for Damon. I definitely have looked to Damon and have held Damon in high regard for some of his words and definitely his achievements, which we are going to speak about first. So as I said, we're not here to bash Dame at all. I'm going to start out saying that I don't personally know Damon. I've definitely shared some rooms with him. I do not know Damon. I've never had a conversation with Damon once in my life. I'm only judging based on what I've seen, based on what you've seen. Okay. So first of all, I want to give Damon his props. In the 90s, when Damon, I'll take it back a little further than maybe the Rockefeller deal. I'll take it back to the first time I saw Damon Dash. The first time I saw Damon Dash would have been at a party. I think I saw Damon Dash at an Atlantic Records party. I believe he may have had a record deal with or was managing a group by the name of Original Flavor. They had a record deal with Big Beat Atlantic, if my facts are correct. There's been a lot of weed and different things that were occurring at that time. So I think it was Big Beat Atlantic, and Damon was managing Original Flavor, and I distinctly remember Damon being very, he was all around the club. I can't remember what club we were in, but he was all around the club that night. I think Damon had a couple of groups that were performing. It was a showcase for Atlantic Records, so I think they were performing. The groups that were performing were groups that were about to come out, relatively new groups to the label. So I think Damon may have had two groups minimum in that performed that night. But I definitely remember seeing Damon run around, and what I was thinking when I saw Damon was, I was like, yo, that dude looks like, first of all, I was like, yo, he's somebody. He's somebody. And secondly, I was like, whatever he's doing, he's serious about it, and it looks real. And I saw him sort of telling people, I couldn't hear what he was saying, but I saw him motioning to people and different things like that. And I realized that the people that he was speaking to was members of the group and members of the entourage of the group. As I said, Original Flavor. I can't remember what the second group was. So just the mere fact that Damon was managing at such a young age. Damon had to be, I don't know, maybe he was around 20 years or so, maybe 19, 20 years of age. But the fact that he was managing a group that was signed to a major label at that point is much more than props. It was extremely hard to get record deals back then. and it was extremely hard to just be a part of that system, which we know to be, the music industry in New York City at that time. So we're talking the early 90s, before Rockefeller Records, before he would even partner up with Jay-Z for any type of business. So like I said, I remember Damon and seeing his managerial expertise at that point. So I want to give him props on that. From that point, Jay-Z and Biggs got together to start a record label, and it became an iconic, and still is an iconic situation. And that's another thing that I want to give before we get into any of the mishaps or antics of Damon today. I want to talk about all of these things because I want to make sure that we are addressing the situation. I said it's an intervention. If we're going to talk about the bad, we're going to talk about the good, and we may as well talk about the good first.
Prisoner 371113, you have been tried and found guilty by a jury of your peers. You have been sentenced to 7 years rehabilitation without the possibility of parole.
I'm innocent!
Extermination to commence in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Remember, you are where you choose to be.
So Damon obviously teamed up with his other two partners, and they got a record deal. As I said, the record label became iconic. It is still iconic, no matter what you would like to say or think. What I would like to do, I would like to jump in for a second. I think that a lot of people skip over one point. So Damon was very instrumental in getting a record deal and getting a label deal, actually, a label situation going on at Def Jam. But a lot of times when we speak about Damon being that instrumental person that got the record deal and kind of made things happen from Def Jam and beyond, we don't include Irv Gotti. So first of all, a rest in peace to Irv Gotti once again. But I want to give Irv Gotti his props as well, because at that time, nobody will refute this. So at that time, Jay-Z was not this hot, commodity. He wasn't this hot commodity that record labels wanted to sign. In actuality, he was, I believe, rejected by all of the major labels and some of the independent labels as well. I remember this. I was there. I was also there at Irv Gotti's first day of employment at Def Jam. So he was in his office, and they were putting in his stereo system and his he was A&R. So he had stereo system, TV, VCR, the works, right? But they were putting that in, and we were having a conversation about who he was about to bring. So he talked about bringing the DMX situation, of course. He talked about bringing the Rockefeller situation, Jay-Z and the Rockefeller situation. And he also spoke about bringing Ja Rule. He spoke about bringing Clue, but Clue wound up, going over to Elektra Records and getting his own deal. So DMX, Jay-Z and Rockefeller, and Ja Rule. If there's no Irv Gotti, those deals don't exist at Def Jam. So I just wanted to throw that in. So getting past that, not to take away anything from Damon, because as of before day one at Def Jam and while they were at Def Jam, Damon was, as we know, let's not take away any of this man's credit, Damon was the person that was handling business. Whether some of us like how he was handling business, or not some of us, but how people that he was handling business with liked it, respected it, that's a different video. It's a different conversation. But the point of the matter is, Jay-Z was an artist at that time. Biggs was pretty much a silent partner. Dame was the man on a day-to-day handling that business up at Rockefeller Def Jam. This is a fact. As a matter of fact, While we're speaking about that, why don't we take a look at what a couple of those days look like at Def Jam? And when we start to speak about some of the things that people didn't like about Damon, let's take a look at this video.
That shit is fucked up. And on another level, it's not for y'all to go. Y'all do not control any of my artists. That's why I'm asking questions. Everybody looking dumb in the face. So what was we doing? What was we talking about in terms of Jay? Let me know.
Why don't we just call the meeting?
Why?
Because you know what it's like.
Why?
Damon, no one.
Why? Who cares? Why? We all here. Why now you want to call a meeting?
Because you know what? No one needs to sit here and be.
No one is so to get the fuck out. I don't give a fuck.
Yep, so we remember that, right? What about the time when he thought that Kevin Liles and Def Jam was trying to oversee the Rockefeller tour? Like they were trying to make themselves look like, like it was their tour. Take a look at this video.
Loud gets his prop. RCA don't take that. Bad Boy gets his prop. Ashton don't take that. But Face gets his prop. Y'all gotta be out your fucking face in everything we do. Then I gotta be the asshole and yell. I don't feel like doing that shit all the time. I'm sick of that shit. Yo, for 30% of my day goes to correcting your fucking mistake. They're gonna pay me more for that? It is true, man. It's false.
Don't worry, because later on, I'm going to show you a couple of his most recent hits, but let's sort of, fast forward things. So Damon had the success. He was a big part of the success of the whole Rockefeller record situation. We also know that as a result of having the Rockefeller situation, that they also started a clothing line. As far as any and all of the information that we have, Damon was the person that spearheaded the clothing line, Rockaware. So more props and more kudos for Damon. Like I said, we're going to give this man all of his props and all of his flowers before we even take one dig at some of the things that he may be doing at this very moment. So back to Rockaware. I don't have the exact numbers. I can look. As a matter of fact, why don't we look up the Rockaware annual numbers? So it says that Rockaware's actual earnings reached a peak of 700 million in annual sales before it was sold in 2007. 700 million. I mean, we could really stop right there. So let's keep it 100. If we're talking about accomplishments, so if we're talking about people having dreams and having goals and and wanting to accomplish things, imagine you wanted to start a clothing company right now. And at some point, your company reached $700 million in sales. I mean, that might be a success. You may not need to have another success after that. You may just live off of that one success. So yet this is another success that Damon had. Another success that Damon was a great part of, right? And then, of course, we know after Rockaware, then we get into the separation of Rockefeller. Now, I'm not here to judge and debate what the cause was. I mean, people are still speaking about that. People are, now Damon's saying that Cam was the cause. Years ago, it was something else. It was a girl years ago. But regardless of that, all parties moved on as they had to. So Jay-Z moved on, went his way. Biggs went his way. Damon went his way. This video is about Damon. And this intervention's about Damon. So not too much, I don't really have too much to say about Damon's partners, at least not in this part of the video. Back to Damon. So as a result of Rockefeller breaking up, I believe that Damon, he started another company, started a company with his wife, Rachel Roy, which turned out to be a $100 million company. He got into technology at some point as well. But my point is, he did have some successes after leaving or after severing the partnership with him, Biggs, and Jay-Z. I think this is the most crucial point for Damon. The point of the partnership separating, that's the point that each person, Biggs, Jay-Z, Damon, had to move on their own. Now, as this is not a Jay-Z video, and I'm not here to talk about the beef or compare Dame to Jay-Z, but every person watching this video knows exactly what Jay-Z did when they severed. We know exactly his successes that are still occurring right this very moment. So we don't need to go into that. Biggs, for the most part, Biggs has actually gotten back into business with Jay-Z. So we know what Dame's former business partners are doing. The reason why I say this is the most crucial point for Damon is because this is the point when Dame needed to reinvent itself. I'm going to say that word again. Reinvention.
I'm glad you feel that way. That's why I called Pops. And Pops agreed with me on the situation. He said he gonna handle that.
What? You shouldn't have done that. Because your father and your stepfather do not get along.
I am not calling him stepdad, so you might well stop that right now. Stop that shit.
I know damn well you ain't cuss at me. Cuss at me again. You're going to be in your new place sooner than you think. You're going to be sleeping with Elvis and moonwalking with MJ. Hell wrong with you.
Man, what you laughing at? You get slapped like a hooky in the street? Man, I'll beat
At different points throughout your career, you need to reinvent yourself. So a business person is not moving the same way when they're in their late 20s versus their late 30s versus their late 40s and off onto their 50s and 60s. You move differently, not only because different things are happening and different things are trending, but you mature. You mature. So I believe that this is the part. This is, if we're looking at I heard somebody say, I heard a podcaster say that we've been watching a slow motion car crash. The career of Damon Dash is like watching a slow motion car crash. And when I heard that, I was like, wow, that shit is true. That's true. So if we were watching a slow motion car crash, the breaking up, the partnership between him and Jay-Z, that would be the beginning of the car crash. That would be the beginning of the car crash. At that point, Damon was unable to reinvent himself. If you don't believe me, let's take another quick look back at Damon, and then let's take a look at some of his recent hits, his most recent hits.
Would you ever enjoy being a slave?
Do you think your son enjoys you calling somebody else a boss?
You think he's masculine? Would you want this man around you if 10 guys jumped you? He'd run, and you'd have to run with him. I like my women to feel safe when they're around me. I don't tell people, and I'm not saying that's your way, but you're just not masculine. I could punch you right in your face like a grown man. I won't, and you won't do shit.
So the most recent Breakfast Club interview shows exactly where Damon is mentally. The only problem is it looks like the same videos from 10 years ago and the same videos from 20 years ago. This is a major problem. This is not only a major problem for business people, but this is a major problem for Damon just as a man. You're not growing. You're not evolving. You're still saying the very same things that you were saying in the 90s and in the early 2000s. And for all of those that are sort of questioning what I'm saying right now, I want you to think about something. I was having a conversation the other day, and I want you to put yourself in these same shoes. So somebody asked me a couple of days ago, if it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and you were headed towards a meeting to get some funding, and they told you that you could bring, pretty much anybody that you wanted to bring with you, and, one of your friends, one of your business partners, you could bring anybody that you needed to help you, to advise you, to sort of walk you through things. And you happen to know Damon. Damon Dash happened to be a good friend of yours. So I was asked, would you have brought Damon to the meeting? And immediately my answer was, yeah, hell yeah, of course. And then the second part of the question was, would you bring him to that very same meeting now, today? And the answer came just as quick. And it was hell no. Put yourself in those shoes. You're sitting down in a boardroom with people that are about to give you millions of dollars. And you can have one person or 10, and they'll advise you and maybe even speak for you. They'll be there to help you speak. And that'll determine whether you'll get millions of dollars to fund your company. And while you're thinking about that, I want you to watch it the very last time that you saw Damon speak. Run the Breakfast Club interview.
Uninspiring shit, dirty and all that shit. You're a girl, you clean this shit up.
Look at your sneakers. Your sneakers are dirty.
My sneakers are
Your
not.
sneakers filthy.
That
ain't like you, Dane.
I just took it. See how you lying?
They wrinkled.
I just put this on today. No, your version of respectful is different than mine. We were on the street right now and you were talking like that, I would have fucked you up. But I'm not going to do that.
You see what I mean? Now, I may be a year or two older than Damon's because I believe Damon's 54. I'll be 56 this year. As a 54-year-old man, is this the type of things that you're doing on a national interview? Check it out.
I bet my house is bigger than yours. I bet all my houses are bigger than you. I bet I have a better.
How old are you,
Stop.
man?
Now it's how old are you?
We're watching a 54-year-old man use drug dealers and drug dealing and block activity to explain his business strategies. You don't believe me? Listen to this.
So you never sold drugs, have you?
Yeah, I did.
So when what?
Quarter spoon.
Quarter spoon, what is that? Nobody says quarter spoon. You didn't sell shit. Stop lying. You talking to an ex-drug. You heard he said quarter spoon.
I sold quarter spoon. Nice. I didn't say I was a kingpin.
You weren't a king nothing. You was a pigpen.
I don't
Let
care.
me ask you a question.
It's not an honorable profession.
When I'm handling business, who a person chooses to have sex with and their sexual orientation is of no business of mine. But that's not what Damon thinks.
That's why now that you
Your
don't
whole
have
existence
it, you're
is
trying
gay.
to prove to everybody that you do.
Your whole existence is gay.
Damon was always a cool guy, man. And people, when I say cool, like I'm sure a lot of people wanted to be like Damon and they wanted to follow in his footsteps. And he said many things that are definitely true, that are absolutely true. But at this point, he's just making up things. You don't believe me? Listen to this.
So Netflix, which owns Stars, owns Power. And 50 is on salary, and he's admitted that. He said he made 25 grand an episode, which is a joke to me.
Let's fact check some of these things. So as a person that's in the film business, I know the answer, but I'll fact check it for you. No, Netflix does not own Stars. Stars is owned by Lionsgate. While they once had a content licensing deal, the two companies are not affiliated through ownership. But however, Damon just shot that information out. He shot that information out as it was a fact. And people believe stuff like that, man, which is even crazier. But that's another video. There was something so interesting that Charlamagne said in the Breakfast Club interview. He told Damon, he said, "You sound smart to a dumb person." You sound smart to a dumb person. Now, I'm not here to judge I'm not here to put anybody down, and I'm not here to judge anybody's, the level of anybody's intelligence, but there is a lot of truth to what Charlamagne said. Because when Damon puts certain sentences together and certain words together, they're put together in an official way, and it makes it sound like it's true. And then you put a little attitude and a little charisma behind that, and it sounds like it's true. But a lot of these things, man, are just made up things. Some of them are things that are exaggerated, and then some of them are just lies, man. Just lies. Just like this.
I'm now the chairman of Revolt right now, and I also I have 15.
You don't deserve to be the chairman of Revolt.
I got you. So I'm now the chairman of Revolt with a pathway.
Again,
You see, because he wants to trigger me, and I want you to acknowledge that. So I'm
thinking at some point that there is not only is there a lack of growth and the inability to reinvent yourself, but there's a little delusion going on. Because anybody that says that they are it's just crazy, man. Like, say what it is, man. To say that you are the chairman of a company and then to have the company come back and say that this is not true, this man is not chairman of the company, this shit sounds crazy, man. And the thing about it is that, like I said in the beginning of the video, man, this is an intervention, man. It's an intervention because I know that there's other people out there that feel like me, man. There's people that came up really admiring the things that Damon, that Jay-Z, that Biggs, and then a lot of other people did, man. That Puff did. That's another video. But back to Damon. So we hold you in a certain regard, man. And when you hold people in a certain regard, you don't want to see them crash and burn, man. You don't want to see them crash and burn, man. Speaking about crashing and burning, man, this video is really about Damon maintaining his legacy. And nowadays, I noticed that a lot of folks are really losing their legacies and messing up their legacies and their careers based on the things that they're saying. So not things that are part of their talent, their career focus, but just things that they're saying, man, in their personal life. And I'll tell you what, if you're an artist, if you're a company and you've got a reputation or you've got a brand that you need to protect, you need to pay attention to this message from BGF Creative.
Hi, I'm Talia with BGF Creative Agency. I meet a lot of people every day, but a lot of people don't know what I do. If you're an artist or a company, you need branding and management, period. At BGF Creative, we have a full media team that's here to personally assist you with everything from branding, management, marketing, promotions, everything you need to be successful in your journey. So give us a call today. We're here to keep you in the limelight for the good things and out of the limelight for your bad things.
I said we were going to talk about what are some of the things that Damon needs to do. Okay? So a lot of times we do what our handlers or other people around us either allow us to do, make us think that it's cool to do. So it's very important, the people and the company that you keep around you. So I'm going to tell you one thing right now, Damon. This is to you. As a matter of fact, somebody send Damon this video. If you know Damon Dash, send him this video. This video comes with love, bro. So check this out. If you do have management, Damon, and you are working with the branding company or branding agency, fire those motherfuckers right now. Like, I want you to, wherever you're at right now, whatever time zone you're in, man, like pick up your phone, text. You don't even have to call them, man. You can fire people by text nowadays, man, but fire those motherfuckers right now. And what you need to do, man, is you need to get with a good branding company, a good branding agency, man. Not to say that you're not smart or you don't know about your business, but the business of maintaining your legacy, bro, you're fucking that up. You're fucking that up. You're not doing a great job. You're not being successful. You're not being successful with that, bro. Okay? So that's what Damon needs to do. So like I said, anybody that knows Damon, man, send them this video. We have a lot of mutual friends, man, and I'm hoping one of my friends that's your friends, man, sends you this fucking video, man, with love. All right? Now, let's get to the people. Last but not least, let's get to the people that are cheerleading Damon's current activity. So I'm not talking about the people that give him props for all of the great things that he does, but I'm talking about the people that are watching these videos on Art of Dialogue and Cam Capone and these different videos, and they're cheering him on. They're cheering him on. You're part of the fucking problem. You're part of the fucking problem. Okay? So number one, anybody that's interviewing Damon right now and you're asking him questions about his beef with Cameron and Jim and shit like that, like his personal shit, bro, you're not fucking helping him. Damon, these people are not your friends. They may be paying you, but they are not your people. And they're not helping you, bro. They're not helping you. If you're not doing an interview where you're asking this man about his achievements and things like that, like things that are very admirable, man, you're down for his fucking crash, man. You're watching. I'm gonna tell you who you are. I'm gonna tell you who you folks are. You folks are you're the people that watch car accidents and y'all like that shit. Y'all like that shit. And y'all don't call the police. Y'all take your fucking phone out and record. That's who you guys are. Damon, think about the people that you're trying to impress right now. You're running a campaign right now to show people that you're not broke. But let me tell you who these people are. They're people like the people that are interviewing you that want to profit off you. And then it's just some guy that has no ambition sitting on a fucking couch. And that's, you worry about his judgment today? Some guy with no ambition that doesn't want to do shit for himself, but play a fucking video game all day. And that's the guy that you're trying to prove. You're going to fuck your legacy up trying to prove to a guy like that you're not broke. That's not boss-like. That's not boss-like. But back to the cheerleaders. Back to the cheerleaders. I see a lot of you in the comments of the videos, and you're cheering Damon on. You're cheering some of this ignorant shit on. You sound ridiculous. Absolutely. You sound ridiculous. Let me tell you what some of the comments sound like. Oh yeah, this is part of a plan. He knows what he's doing. He's just remaining relevant. He's just remaining relevant. Remaining relevant for fuck shit is not profitable.
I gotta fight.
I've been active. Haven't for 1 years.
I know. Short notice, but guess what? A fight? 3K. It's a good fight. I just thought maybe it'd be a good opportunity for somebody who deserved it. That's all.
I made arrangements. I'll have the money next week.
If you don't have half, at least settled by then we have to give JJ Swatch another job.
Your name commands respect. You could use the money.
It's not a good time.
No bullshit. You gonna take it? Short notice.
Short notice.
You look like you're in semi-decent shape, man, but you don't look like you're anywhere near your fighting shape.
This guy's fighting tomato can. Take the fight, man.
I'm trying to keep my shit together, okay? I can't go get my head knocked off. I'm talking 6 days. What the fuck, man?
I'll say it again. Remaining relevant for fuck shit is not profitable. Because here's the thing about, let's talk about the people that think that going viral equals money. Can that be true? There is a possibility that something that goes viral makes money. But I'm going to tell you some shit. First of all, a person usually has to be in position. So let me give you an example. Shannon Sharp gets into a situation where they've got some information, they've got some video of him saying some shit like or things like that, and that goes viral. Millions of people that don't even know who the fuck Shannon Sharp is start watching him just as a result of all the viral stories. That's the example. You have to, in order for something to go viral and you profit off it, you've got to already fucking be in play to profit off it. So you have to have a show. You have to have a product. You have to have something that people will want to visit and maybe have to purchase to find out about this person that's all viral right now. What is Damon selling right now? I mean, Damon's got America New. He's got his streaming platform. Have any of you visited them? So the people that are in his comments, the people that are in Damon's comments, cheering him on in all of these interviews on Art of Dialogue and shit like that, cheering him on. Are you guys buying the app? Are you subscribing to the app? Are you renting any of his movies? Do you even know any of the movies that he has over here? Damon, listen to their responses, because you see the analytics. These people that are cheering you on, are they buying your fucking products? Going viral and trying to remain relevant and not being able to profit and destroying your legacy at the moment, at the same time in that process is fucking ridiculous. like, what are the young people? It's dia-fucking-bolical. It's ridiculous, but that's what's happening. So you're willing to risk to remain relevant right now. You're willing to risk all of the great things that you have done. And let me tell you the effect, because when we looked at the definition or a purpose of an intervention, it was to change the things, the actions, but things that affect things that directly affect you. How does this directly affect you? You speak about ownership and great things, You got a lot of great jewels, but you're running around speaking about your family office right now. Let me tell you how this shit affects you. Your stock is going down, brother. So when you go out here and you make a couple of dollars, but then you say shit on the Breakfast Club or you say shit on these podcasts, it devalues your worth. So that, guess what? Advertisers, companies that may want to give you deals and may want to start partnership with you, your value's going down, so that they don't want to do that. But guess what? That fucking guy on the couch that has nothing, that doesn't want anything, that's playing that video game, oh, he's fucking put a like on your video. I hope that helped your family office. Damon, I'm going to tell you what's really good. You've proved that once you get a good product in your hand, man, you know how to market it. You know how to get it to your people. You know how to move it. Get a new product, man. Get off this internet. Shut the fuck up for a minute. Go back to the lab. Get a new product. Come out here, promote it, market it, sell it. Stop telling us about your feelings, your beefs, your gripes. That's not what bosses do, man. If you can show me one billionaire right now that's on this internet beefing, man, I'll change whatever I have to say, man. And if anybody thinks I'm wrong, and this is just a part of some great plan that Damon Dash has to make a comeback and all of this bullshit is going to work, I'll take this fucking video down and I'll put up another one that says, guess what? I was fucking wrong. I doubt that I'll ever have to do that, man. So this is Travis Johnson, man. The show is What's Really Good. This has been the Dame Dash Intervention. Somebody get this intervention to Dame, and I'll see y'all in a few, man. Letting you know what's really good.
Jerry, good news, buddy. Mitch is coming out with us tonight.
Seriously? Fine. I'll come out 2 hours.
Oh, God, no. Get off. No.
Police are on high alert after another brutal home invasion slaying and have expanded their checkpoints throughout the city.
Wally's Wass.
Come on in.
Are your roommates home right now?
No, they went out for a little bit.
He's dead.
We gotta kill him. We're gonna get rid of this body, and we're never gonna talk about this again.
But we have to play it cool. Okay, so here's the plan. Mitch and I, we get the body, we bring it to the alley the moment you give us the thumbs up that everything is clear. Capiche?
What is capiche, man?
Do you understand?
No, that's why I'm asking.
See, I told you we'd have fun tonight.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks a lot, man. This really worked out great.
This is great.
Give me a lot of go. Where's Wally?